Goody everyone. This is Dayhawk bringing to you my take, my review of Kamen Rider Revice episode 22. So this episode is a lighthearted episode. And you know what happened in the last episode with Hirumi and all that, but I'm going to tell you right now. He is presumed missing. And I assume that the creepy stalking weekend group rescued him and revived him somehow. And I get this feeling too. They may do it, they may not do it. Is turn Hirumi into a cyborg. Have you thought of that? I'm curious because Hirumi at this point, and I've seen this popularity for him in social media, that they enjoy Hirumi the most. Regardless if you think that his catchphrase is cringy, cheesy, like George kind of stated out, he's a likable character. And I don't believe that he is dead. Even if he is pronounced dead, these characters will be brought back. And we know this. For people who's been on this writer train as long as I have, there are a couple of seasons where characters end up getting killed off, and then later on in the season they've been brought back in some matter. And so Hirumi's coming back sometime in the middle, towards the end of the season, and either he's been fully revived, or he's gonna end up being a cyborg. What do you guys prefer? Him being fully recovered, or he is altered by cybernetics by the weekend? What do you guys think? Because it's going to be built all over again when it comes to a certain character. I forgot his name, but he starts with a T, and the whole breaking of the cane and all that stuff. And he turned into mad Night Rogue. And I just forgot his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Maybe they're going on that route. For me, if Hirumi were to return as a cyborg, I'm 50-50 on it. But yeah, so Hirumi is missing. But the weekend rescued him. I bet I'll put $1 into that. And then Kagero is taunting poor Daiji, because poor Daiji, he looked up to Hirumi, I'm sure, as a mentor, and now that he's gone, he's so upset. And he was the one who witnessed the whole thing, because it's like Hirumi was talking to him, passing the torch, like, I pass it on to you, and then freaking Oteka blows him away. And like it kind of like traumatized him in a way, I guess, to the point where freaking Kagero is like, you want to switch places, you're hurt and all that stuff. But Daiji is like, no, screw you. And then Takumi has been fired by Ageria because, let's just face it, and she made a good point, what's the use of having you around if you can't protect me? That's pretty much what she said. And she fired him because of it. And later on, she joins forces to the man that backstabbed her. How does that make any sense? Even though she said that our interests align, I want to rescue Gifu-sama. And that's one of the main reasons why Agelia joined forces with Oteka, which is a big mistake in my opinion, because at this point Oteka is in it for himself. And I'm sure down the line he's gonna backstab Gifu. And maybe there's a possibility that he may be the final villain. Who knows? But if but with great deceivers like Oteka and dealing with a god like Gifu, it kind of reminds me a whole lot of Elder Scrolls, where Mini Marco served my brethren, one of my brethren, Molech Ball, the Daedric Prince of Enslavement, Rape, and Domination. We all assumed that Mini Marco was a servant for Molech Ball and does everything to please him and have the invasion of Cold Harbor into the world of Nern and all that stuff, only to discover it was all a plot. Mini Marco wanted to replace Molech Ball and become the new Daedric Prince of Domination, but Molech Ball already knew about that, and let's just say Mini Marco is suffering in Cold Harbor because of it. And I get this weird feeling that history is going to repeat itself with Oteka and Gifu if it comes to that, because I get this vibe that he's only going to serve Gifu until the time is right to backstab him, and he will become the next god. Because in one particular scene, we get to see Oteka in a house full of dolls. Yeah, he's just going from weird hideouts because the dead man's base has been destroyed, and the best he can hide in is a house full of dolls. But he was talking to the demon's driver, and it asked, like, what? So you're a demon? What is it that you desire? And Oloteka said, I want the world. My question to you guys is, how can Oteka still be a demon even though what we saw, 2 episodes ago? 2 episodes ago that Ikki and Vice destroyed the contract. So why did the demon driver said that, so you're a demon? That's the part I don't understand. We're probably not going to know the reason why, but it's just a question that kind of popped up, like, how can he still be a demon when his contract has been destroyed? Is Takumi still considered a demon after his contract was destroyed? It's all these questions. It's just, I wonder about that. And this episode, it's all about there's a situation with one of the comedy duos that demons are going after this comedy duo, and they're seeking what did I call it the last time? Let's call it the Happy Spa investigations, because again I referred to the Angel investigations from Angel. So apparently these 2 managers comes in and, hey, there are 2 demons going after my clients and we don't know what to do. Can you help us? And Papa-san was like, okay, we'll take this case. And Ikki, my son, and his partner in crime, Vice, is going to be the bodyguards, and they will infiltrate this contest, whatever. So they entered. But before that, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before the 2 the clients come in, George is in the spa and he's wearing like a black suit, and Icky is, was trying to like throw rocks at George because, the whole, you experimenting on other people thing and all that. I mean, he's, pissed off at him still. And George was like, no, this is, I'm going to my father's grave and that sort of thing. Also, he gave Icky the grasshopper V stamp, and Icky was like, so is this an experiment? And George was like, I don't blame you, but I created the driver, not you. So so it's George's way of throwing stones back at Icky. And I don't blame Icky. I think me and some other people do kind of want to throw punches at George for the things that he has done at this point, at least towards Hiromi, because he knew about the demon driver and yet he didn't say anything to him until it was too late. And so once that's done, then the clients come in and they took the case, and oddly enough, the Happy Spa duo was in. And oddly enough, Vice is in his physical form, and what's strange is that nobody in that room was screaming and trying to run away. And I find it strange. I know I might be nitpicking, so what the hell? I am nitpicking. Is that you have one particular scene where Vice is taking the badly injured Icky out of the hospital, and you see all these people in the hospital just running away, screaming, versus here, they don't say anything except they assume that there's a guy in this weird demon suit, which ironically in real life it is. And what else? This weird scene where that the comedy duo that Icky is helping, the other guy just comes in this room half naked, and it's just so random. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm going into the main highlights. Who cares? And Sakura, she is wondering on what to do about the weekend. Should I join them or not? The thing is, I wish Sakura would have gathered her brothers and say, hey, I've been scouted by this weird group called the Weekend, and they want me in, and they could have formed some sort of plan on what to do. And I was wondering a couple of reviews ago, like, why Sakura of all people? And I assume the weekend is like, maybe they did want it Icky and Daiji. The problem is they're part of Phoenix, and they assume there's no way they're going to betray Phoenix. But the thing is, though, Icky is under contract with Phoenix, but it doesn't mean that he works for them. The contract is to give permission to use the driver, because as George pointed out, he created the driver and the V stamps. That makes the driver and the stamps Phoenix property. So let's say if George decides to fire Icky, he is supposed to give the driver and the stamps he has back to him. Okay? Daiji, on the other hand, works for Phoenix. he's been working for Phoenix since before the show started. So I mean, Daiji was, according to the weekend, is already compromised. So there's no way they can trust Daiji. For Ikki, but Sakura, she has no allegiance to anybody. So that's why I think the weekend approached her instead of the other two. That's the way I see it. What do you guys think about that? Which begs the question, though. If Ikki's contract has been terminated and George decides to give the driver to somebody else, would it work effectively? Or Ikki is the only one that can use the driver effectively? And I get the feeling that even if Ikki would say, you know what, I quit, George knows he's the only one that can transform fine. Because if he were to use, let's say, find some stranger and let them become a Kamen Rider, I don't think it will work, because not everybody in the entire country of Japan has their own demon, except for how many people? So I don't think it will work. Look what happened to Hirami in the first episode. It's gonna be that. So they're stuck, but you know, I'm just saying it. Anyways, I'm muffing off. Takumi appears to Sakura crying that Ageria has fired him, tossed him like garbage, and you could see him with ice cream melted, and he's just wiping off his tears and with the ice cream. I'm like, oh my god, whoever, I need to, it was so funny. I wonder if it was the actor's idea to wipe himself with the ice cream or the director. Whoever's idea was it, I was laughing hard. I was like, Jesus Christ. Kudos to whoever whose idea was it. You know, damn, that was funny. Which leads to Takumi and Sakura asking Papa-san and Mama-san, hey, can he stay here? And I'm like, wait a minute. Takumi, the last time I heard, did you move? What happened to your house? What happened to your parents? Why not go to them? I mean, that's just, I was wondering about that. And well, apparently Takumi is going to stay in the spa. And I think that's one of the reasons why Sakura approached Ikki, like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. And I assume it's that. And Papa-san was like, so you see your boyfriend? And Sakura ends up punching him in the gut, in the stomach. Of course, in real life, you're not going to punch your own dad because, oh, is that your boyfriend? That was kind of, ooh. I need to ask you guys this. Do you think, I don't think it's going to happen, but do you think Takumi and Sakura could make a good couple? Because I see opposites attract here. Sakura is strong versus Takumi is kind of weak. But I'm sure that his heart belongs to Ageria. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't see it. I see it more like a brother and sister type of thing. But yeah. Going back just a little bit. Ikki has been given the rolling stamp. And assuming that it will help Vice in his migraines, whatever. And so he got a new 2 V stamps, the rolling one and the grasshopper one. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but whatever. The highlights. Okay, so they were attacked by two demons, and they defeated them. And Vice and Icky assume is one of their rival duos, but they didn't have the V stamp at all. So it's back to square one, and they assume it was the other duo because in the beginning the two clients were like, this is the two duos that we assume are the prime suspects. But I think it's just too easy. Maybe it's another duo that's doing this. It can't be this predictable, in my opinion. But it's Kamen Rider, so what do you expect? What else? Daiji. He is talking to the crazy director about Hear Me. Did they find him? And the director's like, no, we couldn't find him, but we're still looking. And Daiji was like, we need to send in more soldiers. But the director's like, no, can do. I mean, I'm not gonna send in more troops. And I expect great things from you, Daiji. And he ends up leaving. He's not gonna find Hiromi. He's not gonna find Hiromi. He's been taken by the weekend. I'm sure of it. And what's a little bit of a blow too is that the director said that he's replaceable. No, he's not, man. No, he's not. No, he's not. So leaning towards the end, Icky and Vice gets attacked again, and they use the rolling V stamp, and I have to admit the suit looks pretty good. And what happened was that Vice is now in Icky's body, and so Vice is fighting by himself. He easily defeats the two demons, and he demorphs, and Vice is there, but no Icky, and Vice is being all crazy. And oh yes, I almost forgot. George went cuckoo crazy when he saw that new form and that stamp. He's like, who in the hell made that V stamp? Whoever made it is gonna get their ass whooped. And he just like runs. He just goes away. We all know that it's the weekend. The weekend has to be the ones that made that stamp. And I assume that it's the same group that gave this duo those V stamps and causing chaos. So that's my hypothesis on that. It was the weekend, because Oteka, I don't think that's him or Angelia. Has to be the weekend. It has to. Other than that, I think that's it, because again, the rolling V stamp was made by the weekend, so I think one of the goons from the weekend group was disguised himself as the part of Phoenix and gave it to Icky. That's, makes sense right there. And I'm surprised Sakura didn't recognize him, because she was in that base and the group that was fighting her was in the back. Like, join us. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. And okay, here's the thing too. this is the end. I'm just giving my thoughts. Um, People in social media assume that this new form is the berserker form, because almost every single season they need to have like a berserker form until they get some kind of upgrade to cancel out the berserkerness thing, and it's not the case. uh Icky, well, Vice at this point, because he's controlling Icky's body. He didn't go berserk, so they just swap places. That's all that happened. So Icky, Vice is now in the physical world, and there's no need for to use the Rex V stamp to make him appear solid. Icky, on the other hand, he is in the spirit form. And you saw on the preview that he is in the device talking. So if Vice were to use the Rex stamp, maybe they swap places, or it just gives Icky his physical form back. So there's a lot of wonderings, like assuming, let's see. Other than that, I think that's it. That's all I can remember. It's a lighthearted episode, so I give it like an okay episode. It's not good, it's not bad. I just give it it's okay. It's okay. But at least we got some highlights, some things to point out. And Kagero, apparently in the next episode, he's gonna make a comeback. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's it. What do you guys think about the episode? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What else? I'm just like rambling now. I just forgot. But if you like it, did you dislike it? What you think of it? Just give it a comment down below. Give a like if you like it, give a dislike if you don't. I don't care. And what you guys think about my hypothesis? I want to know from you guys. Do you think that it's gonna happen, or what's your take on the whole thing the things that I mentioned earlier on? Did I miss anything? And yeah. Oh, also, don't forget that if you enjoy Kamen Rider artwork, go to my Etsy store. It should be in the About page. And all we have right now is Kamen Rider Night and Kamen Rider Arc 1. And if there's more sales coming, we can make more riders. We need this, guys. We need this. All right then. Thank you so much. It may be a long video, but I have a lot of questions, a lot of hypotheses, and Kamen Rider I enjoy very much. Yeah, so I'm just rambling on. Okay. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!